in some war or the other, and them sleeping on the street now. So I said to the city, I said, why are you having veterans sleeping out on the street? Well, it takes time to build. I said, it takes time? So what I did was I went to the Veterans Administration. I said, can we have a little bit of your land here? They said, yes. They said, why? I said, because I want to build how many homes, Ketchel, did we build? 25, sorry, 25 homes. I said, I want to have a room so we can build 25 little homes for veterans to bring them inside the Veterans Administration rather than having them sleep outside on the streets. And a month later, this was on Thanksgiving, which is in November. In December, we lit the Christmas tree in this little community of 25 homes for veterans. A month later, 1 month later, and then I went to the city and I said, you see how full of shit you guys are? I did this in 1 month as an individual, not as a city. And you're telling me that it takes years and years and years to help these homeless people? Then we found out a month later that they lost $24 billion that it was meant for the homeless, and no one could find it. This is the kind of stuff that goes on in politics. See, this is why I lost respect for those people, because it's unbelievable. Because there's no reason to have 68,000 people living on the streets. So anyway, so I got involved. But why did I get involved? I didn't want to look the other way. No, I said, wait a minute, this is the country. This is the city where I made my fortune. Los Angeles, Muscle Beach, Hollywood. This is where I made my fortune. This is where I built my career. I'm not going to just watch people homeless lying there on the streets and stuff like that. I'm going to get involved, and I'm going to go and help them. So this is why I say, give something back. Whatever you can do, it can be the smallest thing, but give something back.
Very good indeed. I am now going to ask you to give something back here. We have some questions that have been submitted from the audience. Now, the first is not really a question, but Darren and Darlene are in here somewhere, right? And Darren and Darlene are newlyweds. Arnold, they have got married today, and they have come here to see you on their wedding day. And they just said, could you just give them a blessing because they've come? You're part of their wedding day.
Absolutely. First, let's give them a big hand. I think that's fantastic.
Congratulations.
I mean, it's very clear. I found out marriage is about 3 rings. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. Anyway, just joking. I think that marriage is fantastic. I think it's great when you see something like where people get married in some event like this. I've seen at the Arnold Classic where someone would win the Arnold Classic and then propose on stage with the trophy right there to their fiancée and or to their girlfriend, and they got engaged right there and they proposed. And I've seen the World's Strongest Man competition where guys won the competition and then they proposed. I mean, I've seen the wildest kind of things. It's really romantic. It's nice, and you know, to use an event like that, it is fantastic. I think that if you want to go and then come backstage, I take a picture with you afterwards, okay? So we can make that the official wedding shot.
Okay, Darren and Darlene, come over here and we will sort this out for you. And
oh, yes.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Right, we have another question now. This is from Will. Were there any movie roles you turned down that, in hindsight, you wish you had taken?
Oh, yeah. There's several of them. And, but, you know, it doesn't matter how I feel the day or how I felt afterwards, because I couldn't do the movies. I mean, I was booked. I used to do 2 movies a year. And so when someone said, can you do another movie? I said, no, I can't. Because I have a family, I have children, and I have to be at home at some point. And my wife did a great job with the kids when I was on the set and I was off filming and all that stuff. I mean, she was an extraordinary mother and fantastic, really. I never had to worry about it. So I just wanted to have a balance there between family life and, movies. And the same was in politics. I mean, it was like very tough to be in politics and to be a governor and to promise the people that they're your number one interest. But also your family says, I'll be your number one interest. It's clear. So, I mean, I had my kids sometimes when I came home from work, cry on the table because I didn't go to their recital or I didn't go to their football practice or whatever it is. So it's very tough. So this is why it was good to have a balance there, but that's why I turned some of those movies down.
Yeah, I heard that one of them was Die Hard, and the only reason I'm saying that is because, Bruce Willis has that line, the yippee, that one. I just wonder how you'd have said it differently. That would have been quite an interesting catchphrase.
It would have been interesting, yeah, exactly.
He's not giving us it. Okay, Dan says, what career would you have got into if not bodybuilding?
I don't think there would have been anything else that I was really interested in. I mean, I was in the military in Austria, and I really enjoyed the military service. I was a tank driver, and if I wouldn't have had bodybuilding, I probably would have worked my way up the ranks in the military, because I really enjoyed that life. I always like to be part of a community, and I think this is why we started the Pump Club. When you look at the Pump Club, thank you. It's all about creating a community. And why is that important? This is because with a community, you can support each other. I don't think that we are capable on our own to handle everything. I think it is much better that when you have a problem or challenge, that you have people around you that can give you advice or that kind of, help you along the way. And so I always was a big believer in community, and I saw the community in bodybuilding. It didn't matter where I went. If I would travel to America, I was picked up by bodybuilders the first time I arrived in America. I was picked up by bodybuilders and taken to a place to stay. It was bodybuilders that helped me to get the dishes and the silverware and the blankets and the pillows and a black and white TV when I moved to America. It was bodybuilders that picked me up when I went to Japan or to China or to South Africa or no matter where I went. So it was just a community that was always helpful. And so I always feel like this is so important to have a community. And like, for instance, in the Pump Club, people help each other. I don't even have to do a lot of the work now anymore and make suggestions. And that is because the people that are in the community now, that are part of the Pump Club, they help each other. And it's wonderful to see that. So I always think that it is good to join something. That's why I enjoyed, I think, the military also.
Absolutely. Okay, Ian from Ireland is here. Who is the best actress that you've shared a film with, and why?
I think that actors, I mean, it's Jamie Lee Curtis, go crazy and they don't get involved in gangs and in alcohol, drugs, and violence and all that stuff. I enjoy that, so why would I retire from that? Why would I retire from bodybuilding when I love going to the gym? I have my home gym, but I love going to the public gym to hang out with the people and to just work out. I love that. I mean, why would I stop doing movies when I love being on a set and doing a movie? So why would I stop that? So I said, I think we have enough time to be retired when we are 6 feet under. And so then we rest and then we retire and then we hang out. But I mean, while I'm on this side of the grass, I like to just keep doing things because it's fun to do. Absolutely. I'm having a good time every day.
Pleased to hear it. Arnold, I know you have a lot of pets. and Casey wants to know, how many pets do you have? And do you have a favourite? I remember chatting to you here once, and you were on the screen, and I think it was a donkey that appeared alongside you. Would that be correct?
Well, this is all, I don't know how I got into that. It's like, you know, my daughter had a pony. And then for some reason or other, when she started dating, she totally kind of like dropped the pony. I mean, she didn't, you know, take him out anymore. She didn't take care of him anymore. She went to visit him, her, I should say, is a female, visit her like once a week, but that was it. So I said, I'm going to bring the pony up to my house because I have 2.5 acres of flat land. So I said, I'm going to build a little stall there and have the pony there. Then my girlfriend said, she grew up with horses. She says, you know, the pony doesn't like to be by herself. We should get a companion. I said, okay. So she got me for Christmas a donkey, a miniature donkey. So that those two fell in love with each other, and they were hanging out always together. That was it. And they're really funny characters. You know, I realized that they come into the kitchen all the time, and they get their cookies. And as soon as you have a cookie in the hand, they do anything. And I take them upstairs to the gym in the house, in the bedroom, to just take a picture of it. So it's funny. They have a donkey and a pony in the bedroom. And then I take them downstairs again. And it's just all this. So then the woman that got us the donkey called us one day and she says, I have a Malamute dog. Now, this root, they get really big, these dogs. And I said, do you want one? I said, well, yeah. I said, why not? And so, you know, I had already a dog, right? So I said, hey, let's just get another one. And then, so we got the Malamute. Then she says, you know, oh, she called me back a year later and she says, oh, now I have this Leonberger, you know, and mixed with Newfoundland. And he gets also really big. So she brought that dog down, and that dog got really big. So one weighs 170 pounds, and the other one weighs 150 pounds, and the Leonberger. And then she called and she says, I have 5 pigs. And then I don't need 5 pigs, so I'm trying to get rid of 2 of them. You want a pig? I said, sure, why not? So we had a pig coming down. And the pig, of course, you know, loves coming into the house and loves to eat and sleep in the house and all of that. It just feels like one of the dogs. So now I have this whole zoo, you know, with the 3 dogs, and I have the miniature pony and miniature donkey. And they have the pig and all this. They all roam around in the kitchen in the morning when I come downstairs at 6 in the morning, and I feed them every morning at 6 in the morning in the kitchen, and they all just somehow get along, even though they snap at each other every so often. But I mean, they get along, and it is very, very entertaining to watch that when I feed the animals and they do their thing. I mean, it's just wonderful. So it's just another fun thing that I discovered that is really very entertaining for me.
Sounds like there is never a quiet moment at your house.
No quiet moment, no.
It has been an absolute joy to have you here chatting with us today. Thank you. Thank you for all the advice you've shared, the words of wisdom, and thank you for letting us in to so many of the stories from your movie career as well. It's been brilliant, hasn't it? It really has.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Thank you. Thank you all.